Welcome to class. Trust you've been having a great time. I look forward to you enjoying this lesson. The topic before us today is reproduction. And in this lesson, you'll be learning about the concept of reproduction. We'll also be learning about the meaning of reproduction, and also we'll be seeing the male reproductive organ, internal and external structure of the male reproductive organ, the female reproductive organ, internal and external structure of the female reproductive organ, functions of the male reproductive organ and the female reproductive organs. So let's get started. All animals produce their young ones sexually. This happens when a male and a female animal of the same type mate. After mating, the female may lay eggs, as in the case of chickens, ducks, and other animals like insects, frogs, and also fishes. These eggs later hatch into young animals. In animals like goat, dog, cow, etc., etc., after the male and female animal mate, the female carries pregnancy and afterwards gives birth to the young animal alive. So take note, for reproduction to happen, it has to be two animals of the same type, not different type. Then, like other living things, human beings also reproduce too. And this keeps the population of the human race going. This happens when the male and female reproductive system work together to make a baby. So right about now, we'll be seeing the meaning of reproduction. Reproduction is a biological process by which new organisms or individuals are produced from their parents. Reproduction is a process by which living organisms, be it a human or an animal, produces its young one or likeness. So this brings us to the male reproductive organ. It produces sperm and transfers it to the female reproductive organ to get fertilized and produce new one of their kind. So this brings us to talking about the internal structure of the male reproductive organ, which includes the bladder, seminal vesicles, the prostate, pubic bone, vas deferens, and the urethra. So the external reproductive structure of the male includes the testicles, epididymis, scrotum, and the penis. So all of this makes up the external male reproductive organ. The female reproductive organ produces ovum or eggs, and they get fused with the male gamete, which is known as sperm. It produces young ones and nurture it till full growth before birth. So this brings us to the internal structure of the female reproductive organ. It includes the fallopian tube, which is shaped like a funnel, the ovary, uterus, the vagina, and the hymen. All of this makes up the internal structure of the female reproductive organ. External structure of the female reproductive organ includes the urethral orifice, vestibule, vaginal orifice, mons pubis, clitoris, labia minora, and the labia majora. So functions of the male reproductive system includes it produces sperm and transfers it to the ovum or egg. The functions of the female reproductive organ, it includes it produces ovum or eggs. Then it receives and fertilizes the male sperm. Then it serves as a support system for the development of the growing embryo. It produces or provides nourishment to the infant or baby by secreting milk in the mammary gland. So now I'll be talking about the care of the male reproductive organ. Number one is to avoid cigarettes, because cigarettes reduces the quality of sperm and the number of sperm and ability of the sperm to move. So next is hygiene. Practice personal hygiene. The underwears must be washed frequently to avoid infections. Bathing regularly, whether be it twice a day or thrice a day. But bathing is essential for the body to remain fresh and healthy. Then visiting the doctor, going for regular checkups to ensure that all the systems are working properly or functioning optimally the way they ought to. Then exercising. Frequent exercise ensures a balanced or healthy body weight, and it increases the chances of healthy sperm production. Exercise ensures the proper functioning of the reproductive system. So next we'll be seeing the care of the female reproductive organ. It starts with choosing your choosing the right sanitary towels, whether be it tampons or pads to use, and changing frequently during the period of the menstrual cycle. Bathing frequently, be it twice a day or thrice a day. This helps to keep germs and infections them. Then also washing of the underwears with a good detergent. And this must be done frequently as you bathe. One must wash his or her underwears frequently to avoid infections because bacteria are stored in underwears that are unwashed. Then drinking of water. Water helps in better production of cervical mucus. It lubricates all tissues and organs of the body. Then it facilitates the development of hormones. In a nutshell, we've talked about the definition of reproduction. And we said reproduction is a biological process by which living organisms produces its young ones or likeness. We also talked about the internal and external structure of the male reproductive organ, which are also which includes the semi-vesicles, the pubic bone, and what have you. Then we talked about the internal and external structure of the female reproductive organs, which includes the fallopian tube, the ovary for the internal, then the external. We talked about the vagina and the hymen. And then we also talked about the care of the male and female reproductive organ. Then we talked about how the personal hygiene is important to keep the body, the reproductive organs healthy. So with this, we've come to the end of this lesson, and I'm sure you enjoyed the video. Bye. See you in our next class.